It's another day, and one billionaire is on Instagram posing with a rented Lambo and a private jet that's really just a timeshare. But the truth is that real billionaires don't act like this. So today, I'm giving you 10 ways to spot a fake billionaire so fast they won't even have time to Venmo their publicist for damage control. So let's start with the most obvious lie of all. Private jet is just a glorified Uber. We'll begin with the ultimate flex, the private jet. Real billionaires either own theirs outright, like Bezos' $65 million Gulfstream, or have long-term leases through legitimate holding companies. However, the fake ones are basically flying Uber Black at $15,000 an hour. So, how do you expose these fake dudes? First, check the jet's tail number. It's usually visible in those flashy Instagram pics. Plug it into FlightAware or ADSB Exchange, and if it's registered to companies like NetJets or Delta Private Jets, then it's a rental, not owned. Next, look at the flight pattern. Real billionaire jets follow clear routes like home to office or Aspen for the weekend. But fake ones? The same plane is flying from Miami to New York City and LA on repeat, because 20 other founders are sharing it too. The funniest part is that some fake billionaires claim that their jets are too private to track. Meanwhile, Elon Musk's jet was so trackable, he bought Twitter trying to stop it. And if you think that's bad, wait until we get to their Rolex. Watch is a rental, or worse, a fake. Now let's talk about their second favorite show-off item, the so-called luxury watch. Real billionaires don't usually flaunt expensive watches. They prefer timeless and understated pieces like vintage Rolexes or Patek Philippe's. Let's use Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos as case studies, shall we? They both wear a simple $50 Casio and $20 Timex for years. For fake billionaires, that's a different story. They either rent a $50,000 Rolex from websites like Borrowed Time for $500 a month, or they wear cheap replicas. You know, the kind with ticking second hands instead of a smooth sweep, which real Rolexes always have. Yeah, that one. Some even wear Franken watches, where the face might be real, but the inside is all fake. However, the most embarrassing part is not a fake watch, but when they can't even explain how they made their money. Crypto vagueness trap. For these fake billionaires, one of the most common flexes is the claim that they were early investors in Bitcoin. At first, it sounds impressive, but a few simple questions can quickly reveal the truth. You can start by asking when they bought in and what price. Real early investors can usually recall the details clearly. Some entered during the 2017 dip around $900, others during the 2018 crash at $3,200. Fake ones tend to get vague or claim they don't remember, which is highly unlikely if they were truly early adopters. Next, ask if they have any exchange receipts. Genuine investors should have emails from platforms like Coinbase, even if they no longer have access to the wallet. And if their timeline doesn't match up, like referencing platforms or terms that didn't exist back then, you've caught them red-handed. Wait, if you enjoyed this glimpse into how to expose the next fake billionaire you'll meet, then you can hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up while you're at it. Thank you. Mansion is an Airbnb. It's normal for you to see their pictures on the gram. They're always showing off an estate with an infinity pool, marble floors, and a fancy library full of first edition books they've clearly never read. But before you get impressed, it's time to play detective. Take that home office they love filming in, do a quick reverse image search, and you'll likely find it's a $2,500 a night Beverly Hills rental featured in music videos. You see that cozy kitchen breakfast they post? Look closely at the fridge. If there's a binder labeled house manual, then congratulations, you're looking at a high-end rental, not a home. On the flip side, if you want real proof, just go ahead to search the county tax records. If their name isn't on the deed, it's probably owned by Luxury Retreats LLC. Usually, real billionaires show up on the paperwork, while the fake ones can't even fake the document. What if they somehow pass all that? Well, you'll want to hear what they call their business empire. Selling a Billionaire Mindset course. By now, it's clear that their jet is rented, mansion is borrowed, and the only thing they truly own is the illusion. But here where it gets even more absurd. These guys make money by selling the idea of being rich to people who are often worse off than they are. Their so-called business model is easy to spot. They launch overpriced Billionaire Mindset courses filled with generic advice. The basic package, often sold for around $997, include PDFs anyone could download from Reddit. Their premium VIP option can cost up to $25,000, yet most buyers are left with missed Zoom calls and broken promises. That's not even all. In fact, the testimonials are usually filmed in the same rented co-working space using the same recycled scripts. If you dig deeper, you'll find their students are often just other fake gurus. While real billionaires are building companies that create jobs and value, these pretenders are trapped in a loop, selling fake success to one another. And as bad as that is, what comes next is somehow even more embarrassing. Philanthropy is just a press release. The people we're talking about here don't miss out on posting about charity. They often post the fancy gala photos, oversized checks, and emotional captions about giving back. But there's a big difference between real philanthropy and staged generosity. Real billionaires give quietly and consistently. Warren Buffett, for example, donates billions each year without fanfare. Fake philanthropists, on the other hand, follow a very different pattern. Their donations always seem to appear right before tax season or immediately after they've been caught in controversy. When you look into their foundations, things get even more suspicious. Real charities file public tax forms that anyone can look up what they give and where it goes. These fake operations, either the paperwork doesn't exist or it shows zero real donations and a huge chunk spent on self-promotion. They love to name drop too, often claiming to partner with celebrities when all they did was buy a ticket to an event. So if you really want to expose the illusion, just take a closer look at their designer wardrobe next. Flex brands real billionaires avoid. After all the staged charity work, it's time to talk about their favorite hobby, which is shopping. You know, nothing screams trying too hard like wearing designer logos from head to toe. Contrarily, real billionaires embrace something called stealth wealth. It's quite luxury with no need for attention. You'll see them in soft Laura Piana cashmere with no logos, Bottega Veneta shoes with clean lines, and a timeless Patek Philippe that doesn't shout for attention. Meanwhile, the fakes turn every outfit into a brand parade. Oversized Gucci belts, loud Louis Vuitton backpacks, and limited edition sneakers they probably stood in line for. Actually, there's something that's even sadder than the wardrobe. It has to be their team. Team is just a $5 VA. The fake guy's crew have a so-called executive team, or as they're more accurately known, Dave from Fiverr and 3 Gmail aliases. Real companies have proper payrolls and dedicated teams, but these fakes rely on subscription services and outsourcing. One of the first things to check is their LinkedIn. You'll often find titles like Chief Everything Officer and employees who look suspiciously like stock photos. They'll mention their CFO or legal team, but no one shows up. Real billionaires have teams that stay with them for years. These fakes can't even keep a virtual assistant for a full billing cycle. And the most revealing thing of all, their utter loneliness. Addicted to social media clout. Let's take a moment to talk about their real addiction, the constant need for attention from online strangers, mostly teenagers. While real wealth operates quietly, these wannabes thrive on likes, comments, and empty praise. They post endlessly, hoping every fire emoji boosts their sense of importance. You'll notice a pattern. There's always a casual jet photo with a dramatic caption about humble beginnings, usually paired with outdated motivational quotes stolen from an old Forbes article. The saddest part is that most of the responses come from bots or family members. It's quite unfortunate that these individuals chase validation because they haven't built a legacy or a community. What they have is more of an echo chamber, or let's call it an empire of one, built on nothing but noise. Can't name a single billionaire friend. Here's one last test. Ask them who's the richest person you know personally. Real billionaires move in circles where even their doormen are millionaires, and a simple lunch could be with a Fortune 500 CEO. That's the kind of quiet, powerful network true wealth creates. On the other hand, fake billionaires will definitely fumble. They'll mention a mentor they only know from Zoom, or a crypto investor they once DM'd. Sometimes they'll dodge the question completely by saying they're just very private. Invariably, real wealth isn't about loud luxury or showing off, but what you don't have to prove. Let's just say after spotting all 10 signs, you'll never be fooled by a fake billionaire again. So, do you think that was wild? If yes, then you'll need to see the 10 craziest luxury trends of 2025. We're talking private islands shaped like memes, gold-covered supercars, and more stuff that proves the 1% might have actually lost it. Ready for the madness? Hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into luxury and lifestyle, and tap the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.